we're going to talk about decimals, specifically a certain kind of decimal, right? Decimals that are with a 1, like 0.1, 0.001, 0.000001. You always put a 0 in front so you don't lose the decimal. But the idea behind it was like, these are actually kind of easy to work with. And I'm going to do the problems on 2-1. So homework problems. I'm going to do them and show you kind of how they work, right? There's a system, there's a method to this, right? So the first one is when you move this decimal, which I'm going to show you here. If I move this guy back 1 to make this a 1, I had to move a decimal here this direction to get my answers. So my answer for this would be 74.6. This is a really easy way of making this work. If I have to move this twice to make a 1, 1, 2, I got to move this decimal twice, 1, 2, to make it work. So that'd be a 7.46. This one was again 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I put a 0 in front so I don't lose my decimal part. 0.746. See how easy that is? So if you're moving it this direction, you got to move it that direction. Some tricky ones in here, we'll get to them, and then you can see what's going on, right? But right now, this is kind of how this works, is that you want to make sure that you're moving it in the right direction. That's the one thing that you have to be conscious of. Let's take a look at this guy right here. This is 5 times 0.01. I'm going to move this twice. 1, 2. So I've started my decimal here, even though it's implied that's where it is. So I have to write it once, twice. I don't have something there, so I have to put a 0 here. My decimal will be where that thing is in front of the 4. But then I want to put a 0 in front of it so I know that's a real decimal, 0.05. So that's why they keep doing this. You don't see people write numbers like this, 0.05. People get confused and they lose that decimal. That's why you always see it in the books with a 0 in front of it. That's the way you should write decimals. That way people know it's really a decimal, okay? So you want to get in the habit of doing that, okay? Look at this guy over here. This is 0.01 times 250.7. I roll this twice, 1, 2. I roll this twice, 1, 2. So it's 2.507. That's pretty good, right? Scroll down a little bit. Let's look at this guy. This is number 8. These other numbers are very, like if you're doing 7, if you're doing the odds, are very much like 8. So that's why I'm doing the evens. You do the odds on your own. But take this guy, run it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I have to put a 0 in front, and I have to put, there's my decimal is going to end right on that dot. I have to put 0 here. So it would be 0.0101. That would be my answer. Okay. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. They give you the answer. They tell you what you multiplied it by, and they said, what was the original number? Oh. So with these, you just move the 0, the dot in the opposite direction. If I move this back here twice, 1, 2, I do the same with this one. 1, 2. So now I got to put an O here. So my answer would be 3250. Let's test it out though. 3250 times 0.01, according to our theory, right? I move this once, twice. I move this thing once, twice. It becomes 32.5. And they match. So that's how you would do that. I go back and check, make sure it's doing it correctly, right? Let's look at 12. 12, same thing. We're going to move this twice. 1, 2. Starting here, 1, put a circle. I mean, a 0. 2, put another 0. So we're thinking it's 6,000 was my starting number. Let's check it. 6,000 times 0.01, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that would be 60.00, or just 60 for this problem. Okay. So it's really it's just you, whenever you move that thing to make a 1, you move the other one to do the same thing. This is tricky. Watch this one. This is 328 and this is 0.328. Well, What would it take to make that number? I got to move this, what? 1, 2, 3 times. So my number probably goes 1, 2, 3. Let's check it. 328 times 0.001. Right? See if this works. I move this one this way once, twice, 3 times. 3 times. Okay? So it's 0.328, and they match up. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense. It makes it easy for doing the rest of them. Once you do the odds all the way up to, I guess, 15 on this section.